Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, all praise to Abinawi Yahweh Ba'Shem. I'm Ashak Yavashai. It's your brother Yufim Michael Bar, the Shuli was in the God, aka Thug Camp. And to my left,
Benjamin Managan.
So today is another Shabbat Shalom. We're going back to the law, statute, commandments once again. We already went over the book of Numbers. We went over the book of Deuteronomy. We went over the book of Leviticus. Now we're going to go into the book of Exodus. So let's jump off with Exodus chapter 1.
Now these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt. Every man in his household came with Jacob. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin. Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher.
So these are all the children of Israel, right? Continue.
And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already.
So give me Genesis chapter 35 real quick. Genesis chapter 35 verse 23 to 26, just to show you, for people that don't know, what tribe come from who. You know, what tribe come from Leah, what tribe come from Rachel, which tribe come from the handmaids, the concubines. So give me Genesis chapter 35 verse 23 and through 26.
The sons of Leah, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, and Simeon, and Levi, and Judah, and Issachar, and Zebulun.
So you got the sons of Leah, Reuben, so-called Seminole Indians. You got Simeon, the so-called Dominicans, Levi, the so-called Haitians, Judah, so-called African American, Issachar, so-called Mexicans, and Zebulun, the Mayan Indians, which is in Central America. So all of them come from the same mom and dad. Continue.
The sons of Rachel, Joseph, and Benjamin.
So Rachel, you got the so-called Puerto Ricans and Cubans, and the brothers and sisters that's in the West Indies, Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, all those islands. Go ahead.
And the sons of Bilhah, Rachel's handmaid, Dan and Naphtali.
So Naphtali, the Argentina, Chile, the Dan, I'm not 100% on that, but I heard people say the Black Irish, the Gypsies, the Spartans. I know I read a book about that, about it being half of the tribe of the Spartans was the tribe of Dan. And there's also a tribe in Central America that's calling themselves Danites. Go ahead.
And the sons of Zilpah, Leah's handmaid, Gad and Asher.
So Gad and Asher, the so-called Native American, and the people in Colombia, Brazil, Uruguay, those are the children of Zilpah. Go ahead.
These are the sons of Jacob, which were born to him in Padan Aram.
So go back to Exodus chapter 1. So that's just to show which people come from who, which tribes come from. Even though we all got the same father, we all one nation, Jacob did have 4 wives, so 4 women. Go ahead. So read verse 5 again.
And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already.
So Joseph was already in Egypt. So let's find out why was he already in Egypt? Give me Genesis 37. So why was Joseph already in Egypt? Let's see. Genesis 37. One through 5.
And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan. And these are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 70 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren. And
17.
And the man said, They are departed hence. For I heard them say, Let us go to Dothan. And Joseph went after his brethren and found them in Dothan.
So Joseph being a teenager, 17 years old. Go ahead.
And when they saw him afar off,
just like any other young brother, you know, the youngest brother, they want to what? They want to follow after the big brothers. So Joseph want to go look for his brothers, right? The big brothers. Go ahead. But Joseph being the youngest child at this time. Go ahead.
And when they saw him afar off, even before he came near. Skip to
read verse 3.
Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age.
So he loved Joseph because he being a older man able to have children. That's a blessing. So he's like, yeah, that's why. Go ahead.
And he made him a coat of many colors.
So we all know about the colorful coat. Go ahead.
And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him, and could not speak peaceably unto him.
So that goes on with Israel 24/7 amongst all tribes. You know what I mean? Brothers saying the northern tribe is not the Hispanic Native Americans. So, or all the tribes are African, and so it's still, you know, gang violence and stuff. They still fight and hate each other, you know, as we speak to this day. Go ahead.
And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it his brethren, and they hated him yet the more.
So give me verse 15. Jump to 15.
And a certain man found him, and behold, he was wandering in the field. And the man asked him, saying, What seekest thou? And he said, I seek my brethren. Tell me, I pray thee, where they feed their flocks.
So he looking for his brother. Go ahead.
And the man said, They are departed hence, for I heard them say, Let us go to Dothan. And Joseph went.
I'm open the door for brother. Go ahead.
And Joseph went after his brethren and found them in Dothan. And when they saw him afar off, even before he came near unto them, they considered against him to slay him.
So the brothers was like, man, let's kill this man. Go ahead.
And they said one to another, Behold, this dreamer cometh.
Shalom. We might have to get some chairs from the... Yeah, I have to get some chairs from out there. Go ahead.
And they said one to another, Behold, this dreamer cometh. Come now therefore, and let us slay him, and cast him into some pit.
There's some chairs right here too, brothers. Oh, 3 of them.
And we will say, Some evil beast have devoured him.
So they was plotting against Joseph, right? It was like, man, let's say that some evil beast took him, right? Go ahead.
And we shall see what will become of his dreams. And Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands, and said, Let us not kill him. And Reuben said unto them, Shed no blood, but cast him into this pit that is in the wilderness.
Read that part again.
And Reuben said unto them, Shed no blood, but cast him into this pit.
So Reuben, being the firstborn, he was like, Nah, don't kill your brother. Just cast him into the pit, right? Go ahead.
That is in the wilderness. And lay no hand upon him.
So he's like, don't touch him. That's what the oldest brother said, Reuben, right? Go ahead. Seminole Indians, go ahead.
That he might rid him out of their hands, to deliver him to his father again.
So just like the Seminole Indians, when you had the Seminole Wars, and the white folks was trying to like persecute Judah, and they ran to Florida, and the Seminole Indians wasn't letting it go. Like, nah, you ain't about to touch my brother. You have to go to war. So you had Judah, so-called African Americans, and Reuben, the Seminole Indians down in Florida. They went to war with the white people, and they was kicking their butt, man. Go ahead.
And it came to pass when Joseph was come.
We in Genesis 37 and 23. Go ahead.
And it came to pass when Joseph was come unto his brethren, that they stripped Joseph of his coat of many colors that was on him. And they took him and cast him into a pit, and the pit was empty. There was no water in it.
So just imagine, they took his coat like, nigga, F that coat, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. And they
think you somebody special. Go ahead.
And they sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, a company of Ishmaelites.
So the Ishmaelites is who? Arabs, right? Go ahead.
Came from Galilee, from Galilee, with their camels bearing spicery and balm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Egypt.
So jump to 36. So Ishmaelites came. Go ahead.
And the Midianites sold them.
Or Slaki. Oh, keep on reading verse 29 or 28 or 29.
And Reuben returned unto the pit, and behold, Joseph was not in the pit, and he rent his clothes.
So you see, read verse 29 again.
And Reuben returned unto the pit.
So it reminds you, Reuben was like, don't kill him, just put him in the pit, don't touch him. So when he returned back to the pit, go ahead.
Behold, Joseph was not in the pit.
So obviously what? He didn't know what happened. He didn't know that his brothers did what they did, because he was returning looking for Joseph. So that shows that he didn't have no part in it. So when you watch movies, they show like all the tribes, even Reuben, had his like was selling their brother, but that's not accurate. Reuben didn't know what was going on. Now jump down to 36. So the Ishmaelites came. They sold them to the Israelites sold them to the Ishmaelites, the Arabs, and then what happened to the what did the Arabs sell it to? Read verse 36.
And the Midianites sold him into Egypt on Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's and captain of the guard.
So they gave him over to the Ishmaelites gave him over to the Egyptians. So go back to Exodus chapter 1. Now read verse 6.
And Joseph died and all his brethren and all that generation.
So all that generation, all his brethren died. So you get all this, right? Go ahead.
And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied and waxed exceedingly mighty. And the land was filled with them.
So you know Israel like to have kids. Go ahead.
Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
So they're like, man, these Israelites is because we're not the same. The Africans know that we physically, spiritually, mentally, not just more than white people. Than all nations. All nations, we physically stronger, mentally, spiritually stronger. Go ahead.
Come on, and let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass, that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies, and fight against us.
So think about it, how we had so many Israelites. So they're like, man, these people out, they strong, they big. You know what I mean? If they go link up with some other people, man, we finished. So let's be wise with them. Come open the door for the brother. Go ahead.
And so get them up out of the land. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens.
So just like Esau, you remember what Esau did? Esau set up what? Them slave masters, you see? Go ahead, same thing. Go ahead.
And they built for Pharaoh treasured cities, Pithom and Ramses. But the more
we built up Egypt. Go ahead.
But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel.
Hold that. Give me Hosea 5 and 15. So the more we was afflicted, the more we grew. Just like in America. They be like, damn, why black folks, why y'all having so many kids, y'all poor? The more we be afflicted, we still having babies. That's what our people do. Hosea 5 and 15.
I will go and return to my place, till they acknowledge their offense, and seek my face in their affliction. They will seek me early.
Read that one more time.
I will go and return to my place, till they acknowledge their offense, and seek my face. In their affliction they will seek me early.
So in their affliction, when we going through trials and tribulation, now all of a sudden, hey, help me Jesus, help me Lord, help me this, help me that. But when everything's good, what we do? Our people don't want to hear it. They're like, I ain't want to hear about that, man. I ain't trying to hear that. But as soon as something happens, hey Lord, or like what's happening in Haiti, right? In Haiti, they was doing all type of voodoo, all type of witchcraft. As soon as that hurricane hit their butt, oh Jesus, oh help me, this and that, because that voodoo, that witchcraft couldn't help them from getting hit with a earthquake. Continue. Or go back to Genesis or Exodus 1, 13.
Exodus 1 and 13. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel serve with rigor, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage and mortar.
Read that one more time.
And 13?
Yeah, come on.
And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor.
So hold that, go back to Leviticus 25, what we covered last week. So you see how the Egyptians ruled over us with rigor. So they ain't show no mercy to us. So it's the reason why they did that. So go to Leviticus 25 and start at verse 42 to 46.
For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondmen.
Talking about the children of Israel, right? Go ahead.
Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor.
So we ain't supposed to rule over our brethren with what? Rigor. Go ahead.
But shalt fear thy God. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids.
Go ahead.
Moreover,
So you see how it never said that. It ain't say nothing about we couldn't rule over them with rigor. You see what I'm saying? It said we couldn't rule over our brother.
Yeah.
You know, go ahead.
Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall you buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begat in your land, and they shall be your possession.
Go ahead.
And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession. They shall be your bondmen forever.
Go ahead.
But over your brethren,
But over your who?
But over your brethren, the children of Israel, ye shall not rule one over another with rigor.
So you know how you got these Israelites always talking about, that's a cut right there in the law to show you who your brethren is. Because they always try to say, oh, Esau is your brother, or this is your brother, everybody's your brother. Whoever except no. They're showing you that it's getting a separation from the heathens to your Israelite brothers. So the only people that's our brothers and sisters is of Israel. So go back to Exodus chapter 1. Exodus 1, verse 14 and 14. Done.
And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage.
So they was making us. So it's pretty much like this. We used to do that to them. You know what I mean? So they was like, okay, now the time Israel is falling. Now we got the time to get back to Edom. So now we about to show no mercy. We ain't about to do nothing. We about to have their ass working, and that's what they did. Go ahead. They think they the chosen people. Okay, we gonna see how chosen you are. We're gonna use the hell out of you. Go ahead.
And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick, in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor.
No mercy. So they probably didn't give us no breaks. They probably had us out there all day, just like the white man. He didn't give us no breaks like that. Only break we really had the day off was a half a day on Sunday when they forced us to go, or they let us go to church and indoctrinate us with that Christianity. So let me give me First Maccabees. I just want to show you something. Give me First Maccabees, chapter 13. So we pretty much built up Egypt. So I want to show you, because there's pyramids all throughout Egypt, right? And then you got pyramids over here in North, South, Central America. There's pyramids in Puerto Rico and all the islands. There's pyramids everywhere. So give me First Maccabees 13:26. Or 27 to 28, Salakia.
Simon also built a monument upon the sepulchre of his father and his brethren, and raised it aloft to the sight, with hewn stone behind and before.
Go ahead. So this is an Israelite man. Go ahead, check this out.
Moreover, he set up 7 pyramids.
He did what?
He set up 7 pyramids.
So he set up 7 pyramids. Go ahead.
One against another. For his father and his mother and his 4 brethren.
So our Israelites, it shows you right there in the scriptures how we built pyramids. So how did we know how to do that? We was building the pyramids in Egypt. We was building pyramids all around the world. So that's just to show you a precept we had to show, because you got some people say, oh, the Israelites didn't build the pyramids. We built those pyramids. So go back to Exodus chapter 1. And that's why Simon, he knew how to build the pyramids. The descendants, just like the Aztecs knew how to build the pyramids in Mexico. Because our people we knew how to do it because our forefathers. And that knowledge passed on. And you see, like, they always try to say, oh, people was dumb as hell back then. If we were so dumb, how the hell we built? Why they can't figure out how to build pyramids today? They're like, oh, aliens did it. You know what I mean? That's the only thing. That's what white man. That's why. What's up, boy Eddie Griffin? He was like, he said something funny. Like, he's like, yeah, white people don't never, they don't believe in nothing, no aliens, no nothing. But as soon as you say about the pyramid, they say, oh, the alien did it. They want to give black people no credit. That's why that boy funny as hell. So go back to Exodus chapter 1, verse 15.
And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives
wait, read verse 15 again.
And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives.
Because you got some people that say that the handmaids, the midwives, was Egyptians. But it says the Hebrew midwives. These was Hebrew women. Go ahead.
Of which the name of one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah. And he said, when ye do the office of the midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live.
So that's just like who did that in the New Testament? Herod. He did the same thing. But he was pretty much killing all the baby boys at the age of 2. So it wasn't no, he didn't allow it to go out. You know, he was killing, boom, everybody under 2, he was killing. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
But the midwives feared God, and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men children alive.
So, like Acts 5:29, we ought to obey Yahweh rather than men. So he said, forget the hell what you saying, I fear the Most High. Go ahead.
And the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said unto them, why have ye done this thing, and have saved the men children alive?
So you had like the midwives, they was like, used to do the work for the Hebrews. Like if the women, the Hebrew women was pregnant or whatever, they was the one that was giving the birth, delivering the babies. So the Egyptians women, they didn't know how to take care of women. That's why they had hired what? You had the midwives being Hebrew women, because a Hebrew woman would know how to take care of another Hebrew woman. Go ahead.
And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively and are delivered. The midwives come unto them.
Read that one more time, verse 19.
And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women.
Because the Israelite women ain't like these African women. Go ahead.
For they are lively and are delivered ere.
Means like fast. So they mean the women are having so many like babies so quick. Because in the ancient times you would have like, say a woman's pregnant. They wasn't there 24/7. So you had a bunch of women pregnant, so they was like, okay, it wasn't until they heard, oh, then the water broke this, okay, let's go. Let me go take care of that baby, or let me go deliver that baby. So they say the Hebrew women, they having so many babies and it's so quick, I can't have time to take care of all these babies or deliver all these babies. Go ahead.
And are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them. Therefore God dealt well with the midwives. And the people multiplied and waxed very mighty.
Go ahead.
And it came to pass, because the midwives feared God, that he made them houses.
Meaning houses, when you look it up, meaning like families of their own. They have their own children. Go ahead. That's why it's good to sometimes look at words. Go ahead.
And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born ye shall cast into the river, and every daughter ye shall save alive.
So they was pretty much saying like, let's kill all them Hebrew boys.
Wipe them out.
Yeah, wipe them out, because the man, the young boy's gonna turn to what? Men. And those men supposed to be leaders of the nation. So that's why they were saying that. That's like in America, you see how they favor our women. That's why the scripture says it should come to pass, a new thing should declare that a woman should surpass a man. So Esau purposely put the woman above the man. They pay more attention to the girl student than the boy student. They do that. Maybe a boy act up, they quick to say, I'll go to the principal, you're going to get suspended. If a girl do it, they be more like mercy and show compassion. That's what they do.
ADHD.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they do. So it's a reason why they do it, because they try to, because if a woman's ruling over a man or a judge or an officer or this and that, if she's doing all these things, that's a woman not supposed to assert authority over a man. So if a woman doing that and then women get all prideful and be like, oh yeah, I'm this, I'm a judge, I'm this and that, and they start trying to tell you what to do, that's order. That's not order. And then most sides to let everything be done what? Decency and in order. You see, so we out of order as a nation. That's why in these last days the Most High putting that order back into in our nation. Go ahead. Read Exodus chapter 2 verse 1.
And there went a man of the house of Levi and took to a wife a daughter of Levi. And the woman conceived and bare a son. And when he saw him that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months.
So remind you, the Egyptians, the pharaohs, they still want a person. They still trying to kill them Hebrews. Go ahead.
And when she could no longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes and daubed it with slime and with pitch, and put the child therein. And she laid it in the flags by the river's brink.
So that showed in the movie Prince of Egypt. They put him in a basket, so to speak. Go ahead.
And his sister stood afar off, to wit what would be done to him.
So wait, read verse 4 again.
And his sister stood afar off, to wit what would be done to him.
Who's his sister? Who was Moses' sister? Miriam.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river, and her maids walked along by the riverside. And when she saw the ark among the flags, she sent her maid to fetch it. And when she opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the babe wept. And she had compassion on him, and said, This is one of the Hebrews' children.
So you see how easily they was able to understand? That's a Hebrew right there. Because the Africans don't look like us. Go ahead.
Then said his sister to Pharaoh's daughter, Shall I go and call to thee a nurse of the Hebrew women?
Of the what?
Of the Hebrew women.
So just like, that's the precept for verse 16 of Exodus 1. Or actually read Exodus 1 and 16 one more time. I skipped something.
And he said, When you do the office of the midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools.
So right there, that's what I wanted. The stool meaning like, in ancient times, even right now, a woman, when she gives birth, they don't supposed to be laying down on the bed. That's the dumbest crap. That's the dumbest ever. A woman don't supposed to be laying on her back. She's supposed to be scooping down, so the baby can come out easier. You see what I'm saying? There's a ton of videos of women giving birth standing up, and the baby come out way easier. When you sitting down, you can mess up your organs. You can mess up anything. You see what I'm saying? You laying on your back. So that's why it's showing you how our women used to crouch down when they gave baby, not damn sit on the bed. So go back to Exodus chapter. That's the point I wanted to make. So go back to Exodus chapter 2,
verse 7.
So that's why women be in so much pain. You know what I mean? They in that pain because they on their back. And it wouldn't be that much pain if they crouched down. If they was crouching down. So go back to Exodus chapter 2.
Then said his sister to Pharaoh's daughter, Shall I go and call to thee a nurse of
read verse 6 again, Slakia.
And when she had opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the babe wept.
Just like all babies do cry. Go ahead.
And she had compassion on him, and said, This is one of the Hebrews' children. Then said his sister to the Pharaoh's daughter,
which is Miriam. Right? Go ahead.
Shall I go and call to thee a nurse of the Hebrew women?
Of the Hebrew women. Let you know that the maids, that the midwives was Hebrew women. Go ahead.
That she may nurse the child for thee.
So he's like, let me go get one of them to take care of the baby. Go ahead.
And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, Go. And the maid went and called the child's mother.
Which is his mother, right? Go ahead.
And Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, Take this child away and nurse it for me.
So he's saying why? Because she just had a baby, so she has the milk. She can breastfeed it. She can take care of it, right? Go ahead.
And I will give thee thy wages.
So I'm gonna pay you for doing it. Go ahead.
And the woman took the child and nursed it.
So his mother took him and breastfed him and did what he did what she had to do. Go ahead.
And the child grew, and she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter.
So once she took care of that child, it was her child, but once she took care of it, and once it grew, then she brought it to the Egyptians. Go ahead.
And he became her son.
And it became what?
And he became her son.
She adopted him. She brought him into the Egyptian family, right? Go ahead. So remind you, in that movie, The Prince of Egypt, they try to show like Moses didn't know he was a Hebrew. Like he was lost, and then he found out later down. Or any other movie they do about Moses, they always show Moses like he didn't know he was Egyptian, or he didn't know he was a Hebrew, and then he found out later, like, oh, these are your people. But let's see what the scripture says. Continue.
And she called his name Moses. And she said, Because I drew him out of the water. And it came to pass in those days when Moses was grown.
So he was grown, right? Go ahead.
That he went unto his brethren.
He went unto who?
That he went out unto his brethren.
So he went out. So he been in the damn castle, whatever the hell they had back then, and he goes out. He's seen his brother. He know that's his brother. He wasn't lost and saying, "Oh, I don't know who that is," or he wasn't raised. Even though he was in the house of the Egyptians, he knew he was a Hebrew. Go ahead.
And looked on their burdens.
Because the mother had Moses. Obviously, she's gonna raise him as a Hebrew all the way till he got older, and then she gave it to the old enough. Then she gave it, right? Go ahead.
And he spied an Egyptian smiting in Hebrew one of his brethren.
One of his who?
One of his brethren.
So he knew that was his brother, and he seen that Egyptian persecuting his brother. Like, hold on, he's smiting my brother. Go ahead.
And he looked this way, in that way.
So you look around, you know how the brothers do, scope out the scene, like, let me see, and he cops around, you need them taskmasters, go ahead.
And when he saw that there was no man,
So he seen like, okay, coast is clear, I'm about to get this man, go ahead.
he slew the Egyptian and hid him in the sand.
And buried his butt in the sand, like, okay, I'm about to kill this man, I'm gonna put him over there, ain't nobody over there, you know how Brother Scott, you know, scheme. So read Romans chapter 9. Because it's, man, I just don't understand how brothers is trying to say other nations can be our brothers as long as they are coming to this truth, or as long as they keep the law they are adopted in. But if you think about it, every camp that I see that have heathens in their organization and they camp, right? That's teaching that any nation can be saved, right? And they say as long as they keep the law. Those same camps ain't even teaching the law. They women wear pants, don't have no hair wraps, they don't wear the fringes, they ain't teaching no laws. So but they always saying, oh, if that white man keep the law, he can be saved. But they ain't teaching the law, so how the hell he gonna get saved anyway if y'all not even teaching the law? So it's a contradiction within themselves, man. So get Romans chapter 9 verse 1. Cause I was watching who was that debating? It was GMS Chicago debating with I.O.G. in Chicago. And the I.O.G. Israelite of God kept on saying, they got one church over here on the south side, he kept on saying that other nations can be saved, blah, blah, blah. But if you notice, when we was out there teaching on the south side, remember it was them brothers that came up? Them brothers don't keep the law. They talk, oh, where's your friend? Oh, that's my friend is in my heart. Or where's this? That's in my heart. So they don't teach the law. They're like Christians. You see what I'm saying? But they allow other nations to come in. So if they're not teaching the law, it's cutting themselves. So go to Romans 9 and 1. Let's see who our brethren is.
I say the truth in Christ, I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren.
For who?
For my brethren.
My brethren. That's who Paul's brethren is, because I was at work the other day. I was debating with this Old Testament Israelite. And he was like, oh, Paul was he was a Roman. He wasn't no Israelite. He was this, that. The New Testament's false. But let's see what Paul said. Go ahead.
My kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites.
Who are who?
Who are Israelites.
So that's who our brethren is. Right? Israelites. Go ahead.
To whom pertaineth the adoption.
This scripture right here, I mean, this verse from 1 to 4, this is crystal clear. That this sums up everything that Paul says, because a lot of brothers, and since they run to Paul, but like I said, the scripture clearly tells you about Paul's writing. You will be destroyed off Paul's writing. You trying to interpret something and you still on milk, because Paul is deep. A lot of things he's saying is not what you think. That's why you must know the law, because Paul was into that law. He knew that law, and he was a follower of Christ, so he wasn't contradicting the law. So read verse 4 again.
Who are Israelites.
So they try to go to there's no difference between Jew or Greek, or the difference between Jew or Gentile. These different scriptures, but Paul clears everything up in this verse. Go ahead.
Who are Israelites? To whom pertaineth the adoption.
What's the adoption? Christ dying on the cross, adopting us back to the Father. That belongs to Israel. That's one. Go ahead.
And the glory,
kingdom of heaven. Learn this truth. But belongs to the Israelites. Go ahead.
And the covenant.
The covenants, is that singular?
Covenant.
Okay. So that's old and new. Pertains to the Israelites, right? Go ahead.
And the giving of the law.
The law pertains to the Israelites. So so Esau or the Arabs or the Hawaiians and all these other heathens, if they want to keep the laws, they can keep the laws that they want. But it only pertains to the Israelites. Go ahead. That's just like you got brothers, Heavy D, he's into Buddha. He can go follow their customs. He can go meditate and do all that how much all that stuff, but that's not gonna make him an East Indian or a damn Asian. Go ahead.
And the service of God.
The service is who? The prophets, the teachers. That only you got you got brothers out there teaching right side with Esau. Esau reading the Bible for them outside. I'm like, what the world? They all tripping. They out there with Esau. Go ahead.
And the promises.
What's the promises? The promise was made when you go to Genesis chapter 17 to Abraham, Isaac, and passed down to Jacob. No other nation would see that promise. There ain't no scripture that says, okay, I'm gonna make my covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and any of you other heathens that want to accept me, you can come in. Or another thing the brother said from IOG. I don't like to really call out brothers, but this is so crazy. I had man. The brother said, if another nation come in and keep the laws, they are going to be equal in the kingdom to Israel, and they gonna have slaves too. I said, oh my goodness, these brothers, that's why keeping these laws, statutes, commandments, that's where our wisdom comes. If you don't keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, like the scripture says in 1 Thessalonians, I think it's 1st or 2nd, it says that he should send them strong delusions that they should believe a lie. So that they gonna believe a lie. So they really believe that Esau gonna be right next to us, like, and he having slaves of his own. That don't make no sense. So give me a 2 Corinthians. I'm like, these brothers be reaching, trying to save everybody. Captain of a world. On everything. They trying to save everybody. Man, 2 Corinthians. Chapter 11. Verse 22. 2 Corinthians. Chapter 11, verse 22, just to show about what Paul said again.
Are they Hebrews?
So you saying, are they Hebrews, right? Are those people in Corinth Hebrews? What do you say?
So am I.
I'm a Hebrew. Go ahead.
Are they Israelites?
Are we all Israelites? What did Paul say?
So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham?
Do we all come from Abraham? Go ahead.
So am I.
He's like, I'm from Abraham. I'm an Israelite. I'm a Hebrew. Go back to Exodus. Yeah, this damn Cushite, Somali or Ethiopian at my job. He a janitor, he a custodian or whatever. This man was like, why are you rocking your hair like that? cut that, man, boy. Like I ain't, man, I'm telling you, boy, I looked at him so mean, but I was like, man, that's a Hebrew thing. You won't know nothing about that, Kush. You don't know nothing about that. I was like, you know you Kush. He's like, yeah, I know. He walked off. He didn't say nothing else. Every time he see me, he tried to say I'm a Rasta though. He's like, oh, like a Rasta boy. I'm like, boy, you lucky you at work, boy. I'll put them hands, I'll put them hands on you. Go back to Exodus chapter 2.
13?
I'm done.
And when he went out of the second day, behold, two of the men of the Hebrews strove together.
So once he came out that second day, you know what I mean, he's feeling like, okay, I killed that Egyptian for oppressing my brother. He came out the next day. Two Hebrews strove, meaning they came together. They on one accord. Let's see what happened. Go ahead.
And he said to him that did the wrong, wherefore smitest thou thy fellow? And he said, who made thee a prince and a judge over us? So
you know you're always going to have some hated Negroes that's going to hate on brothers. And like, oh, why you smite that boy? Why you smite him? Oh, who the hell put you above us? Who the hell said you a ruler, a prince in Egypt? A prince mean ruler. Go ahead.
Intendest thou to kill me?
Are you going to kill me too? Go ahead.
As thou killest the Egyptian?
As thou what?
As thou killest the Egyptian?
So you see how our brothers was? This man sit there and killed this brother to protect or killed these Egyptians to protect his brother, and then you got these two coons like that was them house Egyptian Negroes, them house pyramid Negroes. It was up in there like, hey, you gonna kill us too? You know, I'm gonna go tell master. Yeah, I'm telling you, that spirit of coonery is heavy in Israel. That is a heavy spirit. Man, it's a psychological problem with our people, man. They really have a coon spirit. Like they can be gang banging, killing thousands of niggas, You say, man, the white man the devil. Hey, brother, you can't be saying that. The white man, he cool. Like, man, he real people. Like this one dude I saw on YouTube, he was trying to say, oh, white people are amazing. He's like, I hate you niggas. White people great. I love white people. I got this house. I got me about 4 cars. I love white people. I said, wow. That's why the scripture says in Ecclesiastes 7:7, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, but a gift destroys the heart. Esau gave him a little money, gave him a gift, and destroyed his mind. Now he thinking the devil is lovely. So go back to Exodus chapter 2.
And he said, who made thee a prince and a judge over us? Intendest thou to kill me as thou killest the Egyptian? And Moses feared and said, surely this thing is known.
He like, dang, somebody, they saw me. You know, they snitching. You see what I'm saying? I looked around, thought it was cool, but it's always that house nigga that want to watch you. That nigga, like, hey, where you at? He at? And he might be in the bushes like, scooping up like. That's what happens, man. Because they was plotting, they was hating. So that's why you notice, like, that's why people be doing. They hate on the brother and they plot against that brother till they, you know, persecute that brother. Go continue.
Now when Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moses. But Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian. And he sat down by a well. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water, and filled the troughs to water their father's flocks.
So let's find out where the Midians come from. Where did they send us from? Go to Genesis chapter 25. Because the Midians are Hebrews. Because anybody that come from Abraham are Hebrews. But they're not Israelites. Just like the white folks, they're Hebrews, but they're not Israelites. They're Hebrew Edomites. So go to Genesis chapter 25, verse 1 and 2.
Then again Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah.
So this is after Sarah died and everything. He took him a wife. Go ahead, Keturah, right? Go ahead.
And she bare him Zimran, and Jokshan, and Medan, and Midian.
And who?
And Midian.
So Abram had him. So they was Hebrews. Him and his daughters. The priests of Midian, they was Hebrews. They wasn't Israelites. Go ahead.
And Ishbak and Shua.
Now jump down to verse 5 and 6.
And Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac.
So think about it. He gave everything to Isaac. But what about the other children? Ain't that his sons? Let's see. Go ahead.
But unto the sons of the concubines.
But unto who?
Unto the sons of the concubines. Which Abraham had. Abraham gave gifts.
He gave him a gift. I'm gonna give you a little bit of something. But he gave all his possessions to his son. Like hold that. Give me Genesis. What was that? Genesis 22 and 2. After Abraham told Ishmael's mother, gave him a bottle of water, gave her a bottle of water and some bread, and gave her the boot, right? Let's see what happened. So Genesis chapter 22 verse 2. So he kicked out Hagar and Ishmael. So Genesis 22 and 2.
And he said, take now thy son, thine only son,
that
Isaac,
what?
Thine only son, Isaac, whom thou lovest.
So go back to Genesis. So you see, even though Abraham had many sons, somebody open the door for 50. So even though he had many sons, guess what? Wait, brother, wait. Even though he had many brothers or many sons, his only son is who? Israel. Isaac, right? Just put that over there. All right. Yeah. No, I'm saying like pull it. Yeah. Yeah. Just put that chair over there. So we have. So he had Ishmael, but his son was only Isaac. Go ahead. So go back to Genesis chapter 25, verse 5 and 6, or read verse 6 again.
But unto the sons of the concubines which Abraham had, Abraham gave gifts and sent them away from Isaac his son.
So he sent them away. That's what he thought about them children he got with the concubine. Because the promise was only through Abraham passed to Isaac, Jacob. So anything that was in the middle, anything extra, that didn't matter. Because that's who our brethren is. That's who the chosen lineage is through. So he sent them their way. Go ahead.
While he yet lived, eastward unto the east country.
So he sent them to the east. That's why like them East Indians, where they at? And they in the east. A lot of them nations that's Hebrews, Ishmael, they all in the east, right? Or they call it Middle East and Asia and all that. So go back to Exodus chapter 2.
Exodus 2, 16. Okay.
Gone. The water.
Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water, and filled the troughs to water their flocks.
So they was Hebrews, but not Israelites. Go ahead.
And the shepherds came and drove them away. But Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock. And when they came to Reuel, their father, he said, How is it that ye are come so soon today? And they said, An Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and also drew water enough for us, and watered the flock.
So at that time, you had anybody that was really like dark or whatever like that, they would call them an Egyptian. Or even in present times, like in the 1600s, 1500s, anybody that was in the world at that time, they called them Ethiopian, which Ethiopian just means black. So that was just like, oh, he's Egyptian, right? Go ahead.
And he said unto his daughters, And where is he? Why?
Just like he got some heathens that they don't know the difference between African Americans and blacks. I mean, African Americans and so-called Africans. They just be like, oh, ain't you African American? And they might be talking to a damn Ethiopian or something. So they a lot of them can't tell the difference. But us, we can tell the difference. Be like, oh, no, that's Put, that's Kush, that's all the way. You know what I mean? That's not our people. You know what I'm saying? Just that whole another spirit on them. You know what I mean? Even though the ones that grow up in the hood that try their best to act like us, they try too hard. They be saying nigga more than us. And I'm like, hold on with that, man. You wasn't in slavery. You know what I mean? That's why we used to smash them back in middle school and high school, boy. Man, go to war. Because you know Minnesota got one of the biggest population of Somalians. So go continue. 20.
And he said unto his daughters, And where is he? Why is it that ye have left the man? Call him that he may eat bread.
So hold that. Give me Exodus chapter. Select you where at verse. Exodus chapter 11. Real quick. Exodus 11 and 7.
But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue, against man or beast, that ye may know.
That ye may know what?
How that Yahweh doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
There's a difference between us and the Africans. He put a difference between us. Go back to Exodus chapter 2. Verse 21.
Exodus 2 and 21.
Done.
And Moses was content to dwell with the man, and he gave Moses Zipporah his daughter, and she bare him a son, and he called his name Gershom, for he said, I have been a stranger in a strange land. And it came to pass in the process of time that the kingdom of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed by reason of the bondage, and they cried.
So the Pharaoh died, right? Children of Israel, they still crying. We being persecuted for 400 years. Go ahead.
And their cry came up unto God by reason of the bondage.
Wow, we just read in Hosea 5 and 15, right? Earlier, through their affliction, they should seek me early. They've been afflicted. See how us, we've been afflicted, and then the spirit jumped on us like, man, we gotta repent. It's time to, something ain't right. You know what I mean? We living in the end time. So go ahead.
And God heard their groaning, and God remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob.
Because the Most High, so you got brothers, repenting, trying to come back to these laws, statutes, commandments, right? Go ahead.
And God looked upon the children of Israel, and God had respect unto them.
So give me Baruch in the Apocrypha. Baruch chapter 4. Baruch chapter 4. Right after Sirach, I believe. Yeah, Baruch chapter 4, verse 21 through 29.
Be of good cheer, my children, cry unto Yahweh, and he shall deliver you from the power of the hand of the enemies.
Read that one more time.
Be of good cheer.
So be of good cheer, brethren, sisters, children. Be of good cheer. We almost out this month, man. We just got to continue to strive. Don't let nobody take that salvation from you. You see what I'm saying? Because it's up to you. If you're gonna fall off, you're gonna go back in the world, or you're gonna stay in this truth and be strong in this truth. But you can't be hot or cold.
Right.
You gotta be. I mean, you can't be lukewarm. You gotta either be hot or cold. You can't be in the middle. Because the Most High ain't looking for no middle cast.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's looking for somebody that's full, like really sincere about this truth. Go ahead.
Be of good cheer, my children, O my children, cry unto Yahweh, and he shall deliver you from the power of the hand of the enemies.
So like just like in John, it talks about like how the Lord doesn't hear sinners' prayers. So if you sinning willfully, all that, Most High ain't gonna hear you. You can pray 1,000 times 1,000.
Right.
Most High up in heaven, like, ignore that boy. I don't know if he got a phone or whatever, but he like, oh no, don't pick up that call right there. That's such and such. That boy's sinning. Go ahead.
For my hope is in the everlasting, that he will save you.
So he want to save us. Go ahead, just like it touched in second, what's that? 2 Peter's, 1 Peter's 3:9. He don't want none. He want all of us to repent. Go ahead.
And joy is come unto me from the Holy One, because of the mercy which shall soon come unto you from the everlasting our Savior. For I sent you out with the mourning and weeping, but God will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever. Like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity.
So all nations have seen our captivity. All nations had us in captivity, right? Go ahead.
So shall they see shortly your salvation from God.
They should shortly see that salvation. And like the other scripture said, they should be amazed at the strangeness of your salvation in the second Esdras. They're going to be amazed, like, hold up, man. These guys getting beaten up in a chariot? Go ahead.
Which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from God.
Read that one more time.
My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from God.
So everything we going through, the Most High letting it go through, because this is the last go round. We all been here many a times, and it was like every lifetime you getting better, you learning from your mistakes. So back then, boom, you might have been wicked on this part. Then the next life, okay, I have to work. Then you worked on this. So it's like every life you trying to get better, but this is the last go round. It's like you got to prove yourself, and it ain't gonna be easy this time. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna be no easy. You just gonna walk in the kingdom untouched, unharmed. You just good. You have a pleasant life. Don't go through no. If you going through no trials and tribulation, you ain't in the truth. Right. You ain't in the truth. If you ain't being persecuted, we all have our different ways. The Most High tests us. But if you ain't going through nothing, if you just say, man, I love life. It's just so great to me. Nigga, you ain't in the truth. Go back to the club or something. You ain't in the truth. It's hard out here. I'm talking about you might lose your job. You might lose this. You might lose. I'm telling you, the Most High, he'll persecute you, man. Go ahead.
For thine enemy have persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction, and shalt tread upon his neck.
No, read the verse again. What verse you at?
25.
Yeah, read that one more time, Mark.
My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from God. For thine enemy has persecuted thee.
Yes, they persecuting us, right? Go ahead.
But shortly thou shalt see his destruction.
We're going to see that destruction, the ones that living right. Go ahead.
And shall tread upon his neck.
We're going to be the one to put our hands on them. Go ahead.
My delicate ones have gone rough ways.
Which we have. Go ahead.
And were taken away as a flock caught of the enemy. But of good comfort, O my children.
So be of good comfort, right? Go ahead.
Crying to God.
That's why these scriptures supposed to comfort us. This is the Holy, the God sent comforter, not down over there in New York. Right. You know what I mean? But this is the Holy Spirit. This is the comforter. Go ahead. It's gonna comfort us. This is gonna build up your spirit when you're down, when you're lowly, whatever you're going through. The scriptures in here to build you up, to comfort you. Go ahead.
For ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. For as it was your mind to go astray from God.
So it was in your mind to go off. Like, man, I'm going to go do this. I'm gonna do the opposite what the Most High said, right? It was in all of our minds to do that, right? Go ahead.
So being returned, seek him 10 times more.
Seek how much?
10 times more.
Man, when we was in the world, when we was doing all that wickedness, gang banging, doing this and that, robbing or whatever, whoremonger, fornication, the Lord said, now, as you was being wicked, man, that passion, that drive, you know, some brothers we used to love to be wicked. Like, man, I just pray upon them. Oh, we're gonna be wicked as hell. This is what I do. Now, flip it to the positive side and do it 10 times even more. That's what the Most High is saying. Go ahead.
For he had brought these plagues upon you. Upon you shall bring you shall it's like it
Read one more time, verse 29.
For he that had brought these plagues upon you.
So he brought these plagues upon us, right? Go ahead.
You shall bring you everlasting joy again with your salvation.
When you get delivered, God willing, we all get delivered. But once the elect get delivered, we're gonna have joy. It's gonna be a joyful. It's gonna be a big party in the kingdom. You know what I mean? It's gonna because it's gonna be like a new, like a damn near new feast. Us getting delivered out of Egypt all over again, which is America. So go back to Exodus chapter 2. So you know Israel gonna turn up. You know what I mean? Like Christ said, just let that water turn into wine one more time. Right. Party ain't over. Party ain't over. And I can just, I don't know, but I be just thinking about heavenly things all the time, man. Just the food we gonna eat. I know it's gonna be some heavenly food that I'm talking about, like stuff that you ain't never seen, colors you ain't never seen. Like what the hell kind of color that is? You know what I mean? It's gonna be some stuff that, like the Bible says, your mind can't even fathom like what the kingdom of heaven is gonna be like. Even if you think about, okay, it's gonna be streets of gold. Like the Most High gave us a little. Hey, open that door, y'all. Most High gave us a little glimpse. Okay, the streets of gold, diamonds, rubies, all this. But you got these rappers spending millions of dollars on diamond and gold. That stuff ain't pure gold. Like the Most High is gonna have that purest of gold. The brothers think you got these rappers spend all this money. They think because it just says 250,000, it must be real. The damn East Indian or Ishmael that's doing those, man, he could be putting all type of fake stuff. That's why this one dude I was watching a video. The dude was like, "Oh, this stuff ain't real." And he paid like what 90,000. And he was like, man, he took it to the thing. It was like, this ain't real. But he thinking it's real because it's 90,000. So it must be real. Right. That's why people, they get you, man. So go back to Exodus chapter, so we finished Exodus 2, right? So get Exodus chapter 3.
Now Moses kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the backside of the desert and came to the mountain of God, even to Horeb. And the angel of Yahweh appeared unto him in a flame. Who? The angel of Yahweh appeared unto him in a flame, a fire out of the midst of the bush. And he looked, and
so this wasn't, so read verse 2 again.
And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame with fire, out of the midst of the bush.
So don't take this scripture and say, like some brothers is doing, hey, that was him speaking through marijuana plant. Like it was getting hot. No. Just because it said the bush was on fire doesn't mean you're supposed to spark that blunt. Go ahead.
Behold, the bush.
Because that's a doctrine out there that's doing it. Brothers justified it reading this, like, oh, you can smoke weed because you see the bush was on fire. So, yeah, that's so you know they got hot off the bush, you know. On everything. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed.
So give me John chapter 8 real quick, because a lot of people think that the Most High was doing the talking. The Most High, you ain't never heard the Most High voice or seen him. So give me John chapter 8. John chapter 8. So because when it's talking about God, it's talking about like God said unto this, God said unto that, or I walk with God. It's God going back to the Hebrew Elohim, which means powers, angels. So the angels are like the representative of the Most High. So they'll go do the mouth speak. Okay, the Most High tell them to do this. Okay, I'm gonna go do it. But it's really not them doing it or saying it. It's the Most High speaking through them. So it's like the Lord's giving them the word through, like, just like when we in this truth. We're not telling you that salvation is only for us. The scriptures is saying this is the word of the Most High. So go John chapter 8, verse 52 to 59. John chapter 8. So this was a lot of times in the Old Testament, like it was Yahweh Shai coming. Or if it wasn't Yahweh Shai, it's Gabriel. Or Michael the Archangel. So a lot of times it was those, but mostly it was Yahweh Shai. Because he, like, read this, John chapter 8, verse 52 to 59.
Then said the Jews unto him, now we know that thou hast a devil. Abraham is dead, and the prophets, and thou sayest, if a man keep my saying, he shall never taste of death. Art thou greater than our father Abraham?
What do you say?
Art thou greater than our father Abraham, which is dead, and the prophets are dead, whom thou makest thou thyself? Yahushua answered, if I honor myself, my honor is nothing. It is my Father that I honoreth me, that honoreth me. Of him of whom ye say that he is your God. Yet ye have not known him, but I know him. And if I should say, I know him not, I shall be a liar, like unto you. But I know him and keep his saying.
Go ahead.
Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day.
Read that one more time.
Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it and was glad.
So because you had the Melchizedek, that was Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
Then said the Jews unto him.
That's on a deeper level. So brothers, that's new. Don't be trying to go super deep in the scriptures. Stick to the milk. Because it will bug you out if you try to go super deep and you still breastfeed on that breast milk. Go ahead.
Then said the Jews unto him.
Like the scripture tells you in Slakia, it tells you in I think Wisdom of Solomon, don't seek things above your understanding. Don't seek these deep things. Just focus on the law, statutes, commandments. You ain't gonna learn everything. You ain't gonna know everything. No matter how many years you're gonna be in the truth, you're not gonna know. Like some brothers say, I got 100% truth. Ain't no 100% truth. We prophesied in part. So the Most High might give this brother this, or this brother this, or this brother that, but we all one body. So we come together. So we ain't gonna know everything. There's a lot of stuff I be reading. I be like, man, I don't know what the world that's talking about, so I ain't gonna even go into it. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Then said the Jews unto him, thou art not yet 50 years old.
So he's like, man, how the hell you talking about Abraham was happy to see you? Man, you ain't even 50 years old. What you talking about? I know you got a devil, right? Go ahead.
And hast thou seen Abraham?
And you saw our father Abraham? Go ahead.
Yahushua said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am.
So he said, before Abraham was, I was always there. So give me John chapter 5. John chapter 5, verse 43.
I am come in my Father's name.
What he say?
I am come in my Father's name.
That's why we call the Most High Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai, he came in his name. So if a brother's saying, oh, his name is Ahiah, and his son's name Yeshaya, which Yeshaya is the Hebrew word of saying Isaiah. So they call him, they saying, I am in the name of Isaiah. That don't make no sense. They call him upon Isaiah, they call upon themselves in the name of Isaiah. So the Lord said, because Ahiah and Yeshaya doesn't fit into Ahiah, but what did the Lord say? Read verse 37 again.
I am come in my Father's name.
I came in my Father's name. Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. He came in his Father's name. Go ahead.
I come in my Father's name, and ye receive me not. If any shall come in his own name, him will ye receive.
Go ahead, because if you're doing your own thing, yeah, that brother got knowledge. When he coming with his own vain knowledge, right? Go ahead.
How can ye believe which receive honor one of another, and seek not the honor that cometh from God only?
Go ahead.
Do not think that I will accuse you to the Father. There is one that accuseth you, even Moses,
the laws. Go ahead.
In whom ye trust.
So he's like, you trust in Moses, right? Go ahead, read that.
For had ye believed Moses,
if you what?
For had ye believed Moses,
what would he say?
Ye would have believed me.
If you believe Moses, you would believe me. Why?
For he wrote of me.
For he what?
For he wrote of me.
That was me he was talking about. That's what Yahushua said. So go back to Exodus chapter 3. That was Yahushua back there. Read verse 3. John chapter 3 verse 3. I mean Exodus chapter 3 verse 3. Slack it.
And Moses said, I will not turn aside and see this great sight, why the bush is not burnt. And when Yahushua saw that he turned aside to see, God called unto him outside of the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here am I. And he said, Draw not nigh hither, put off thy shoes from off thy feet, for the place wherein thou standest is holy ground. Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father.
The powers of your father. Go ahead.
The God of Abraham.
So the powers, the Elohims of Abraham. Go ahead.
The God of Isaac and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God.
Meaning the Elohims. He was afraid to look at the angel. Go ahead.
And Yahushua said.
Because that's why a lot of people read that. Oh, you see, he saw God. Or he was scared to look upon God. No, that word God is Elohim or Elohim in the modern Hebrew, which means powers, angels. Go ahead.
I have surely
also
seen.
mean rulers. Go ahead.
I have surely seen the affliction of my people, which are in Egypt, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters. For I know their sorrows, and I have come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of the land unto a good land and unto a land flowing with milk and honey, unto a place of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites.
So those are all Hamitic. So for brothers that's taking notes, jot down Genesis chapter 10, 6 through 20. That shows you that those tribes that they name are descendants of Ham. So Genesis chapter 10, 6 through 20. Continue.
Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come up unto me. And I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppressed them. Come now therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. And Moses said unto God, Who am I, that I should go unto Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt? And he said, Certainly I will be with thee, and this shall be a token unto thee, and I have sent thee. When thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt, ye shall serve God upon this mountain. And Moses said unto God, Behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, The God of your fathers have sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, What is his name? What shall I say unto them?
So what is your name? Let's see. Go ahead.
And God said unto Moses, I am that I am.
Ahaya, Ashar, Ahaya. That's what he said, right? Go ahead.
And he said, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am, have sent me unto you.
So Moses, so should I tell him Ahaya sent me? Let's see. Go ahead.
And God said moreover unto Moses.
So he's like, no, I'm still talking. I'm just letting you know that you can't really put a name to me. I am that I am. You see what I'm saying? You can't really explain me. There's no word in your dictionary down there to explain what I am. So I am what I am. Go ahead.
Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel.
So he's saying now this is what you're supposed to tell the children of Israel. What?
Yahweh God.
So that word Lord is Yahweh. Because if the Lord's speaking, he's going to say I am. I am this. I am that. I am he. I am, okay. But if you speaking about him, you're not going to say I am. You're going to say he is, which is Yahweh. And that's why brothers is getting confused about Ahaya or Yahweh. Actually, they both go back to the same root word, Hebrew word. So, but Ahaya is in first person, speaking of himself. Yahweh is third person, speaking about somebody else. So that's just like me and brother having a conversation, and I say, hey brother, I'm pretty good in basketball. You know what I'm saying? But if this brother is talking to you about me, he ain't gonna say, hey, I'm good in basketball. He's gonna say, hey, that brother right there, he good in basketball. That's all. That's simple as hell. Common sense. You don't need no bachelor degree, no damn master. You don't got any. That's common sense, right? Con, go ahead. Read verse 15 again. Oh, read verse 14 again. Slack you.
And God said unto Moses, I am that I am.
Ahaya Shahaya, right? Go ahead.
And he said, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am, have sent me unto you.
So Moses replied, like, okay, shall I tell him that, Ahaya sent me? Go ahead.
And God said moreover unto Moses, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel.
So he wasn't done talking. That's what a lot of brothers understand when they saying, oh, he told me his name in 14. No, verse 15, he said moreover. This is a continuation. He's still talking, right? Go ahead.
Yahweh God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, have sent me unto you. This is the name forever.
This is my name forever. Yahweh is his name forever. Go ahead.
And this is my memorial unto all generations.
So he didn't just say it one time. Read the next verse.
Go and gather the elders of Israel together, and say unto them, Yahweh God of your fathers.
That he said Yahweh once again when you read the Hebrew. So he ain't just saying in verse 15. He made it crystal clear in verse 16. Hey, I ain't tell you my name. Don't call me Ahaya. You gotta say Yahweh. Go ahead.
The God of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob appeared unto me, saying, I have surely visited you, and seen that which is done to you in Egypt.
So it's confusing for brothers too because of the English. Because when you see the word Lord, they're saying, oh, the word Lord goes back to Baal, which goes back to Satan. Which, yes, that's true. But then when you see that all capitalized Lord, that's Yahweh. But they took out Yahweh and put Lord. Go ahead.
And I have said, and I will bring you up out of the affliction of Egypt unto the land of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, unto a land flowing with milk and honey.
Hold that, give me Genesis 4:26. Got 6 minutes. Genesis 4:26. So we knew the name, just to prove that we knew the name forever, and to further prove that his name is Yahweh. So Genesis 4:26.
Genesis 4:26. And to set to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of Yahweh.
Name of who?
Of Yahweh.
That word Lord right there in the Hebrew is Yahweh. Give me Exodus 15:3. Not a higher. That word right there is Yahweh. Go ahead.
Yahweh is a man of war.
What did he say?
But Yahweh is a man of war.
So that's Yahweh again.
Yahweh.
Yahweh's over 7,000 times in the Bible.
Yahweh is his name.
Yahweh's what? Yahweh what?
Yahweh is his name.
Yahweh is his name. Give me Isaiah 42:8. He's letting you know what his name is. Isaiah 42:8. He's letting you know crystal clear. Yahweh's my name. But I'm going to say Ahaya. I'm going to talk about myself. But you better say Yahweh. Give me Isaiah 42:8.
I am Yahweh.
What did he say?
I am Yahweh.
I am Yahweh. Go ahead.
That is my name.
That is what?
That is my name.
That is his name. Go ahead.
And my glory will I not give unto another.
Give me Psalms 83. One more. I can pull 1,000 of them. It's all throughout the Bible. You can pull 1,000 of them. So I don't understand what they're trying to say. Oh, his name is not that.
Where you talking about?
Psalms 83. 16 through 18.
Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek my name.
That they may what?
That they may seek my name.
So the name is important. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, the name ain't important. Go ahead.
Let them be confounded.
Read verse 16 again.
Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Yahweh.
Oh who?
O Yahweh.
Go ahead.
Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish.
Continue. Check this out.
That men may know that thou, whose name alone is Jehovah.
So it says Jehovah right there, but in Hebrew, Yahweh. Go ahead.
Art the Most High over all the earth.
That's crystal clear. Go back to Exodus chapter 3. So that's right there. That's Yahweh. Don't say no Ahaya right there.
Crazy.
So go back to Exodus chapter 3. 18. Come on. Wow.
Exodus 3 and 18.
Come on.
And they shall hearken to thy voice, and thou shalt come, and thou and the elders of Israel unto the king of Egypt. And ye shall say unto him, Yahweh God of the Hebrews hath met with us, and now let us go. Beseech thee 3 days' journey into the wilderness, that we may sacrifice to Yahweh our God.
So we gotta cleanse ourselves. We gotta ask for forgiveness. We gotta sacrifice. But you see how it says the God of the Hebrews. Man, ain't saying the God of everybody. Go ahead.
And I am sure that the king of Egypt will not let you go not by a mighty hand. And I will stretch out my hand and smite Egypt with all my wonders, which I will do in the midst thereof. And after that he will let you go. And I will give this people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. And it shall come to pass that when ye go, ye shall not go empty.
Go ahead.
But every woman that shall borrow of her neighbor and of her that sojourneth in her house jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiments, and ye shall put them upon your sons and upon your daughters, and ye shall spoil the Egyptians.
Give me one more scripture, Jeremiah 30. We shall spoil. The word spoil means what? To rob, to take. So Jeremiah 30, last scripture. Jeremiah 30 verse 16. Because it ain't just gonna happen. We ain't just do that to the Egyptians. We're gonna do it once again right here in America. Ain't nothing new under the sun.
That's right.
So give me Jeremiah 30:16.
Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured.
All nations that devoured us, they're gonna be devoured. Go ahead.
And all thine adversaries.
All thy adversaries, another word for adversaries, enemies. Go ahead.
Every one of them.
No, some of the white people.
Every one of them.
Some of the Africans.
Every one of them.
So even if they want to be sincerely good and don't really hate us, because you got some other nations that really don't hate us or really like care for us and stuff, but every single one of them, whether it's good, bad, whatever, go ahead,
shall go into captivity.
They gotta go into captivity. They ain't about to, it's one good white man, he's feeding the black homeless and he's doing this and doing that. Okay, that's good enough, but your butt's still gonna get that 99.9 lashes. Go ahead. Right. I'm gonna take a little bit ease off the last one. Go ahead. That's all you get. Go ahead. Because when you beating the hell out of one of them, you thinking about all what was done. We almost done. Go ahead.
And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all they that prey upon thee will I give for a prey.
So everything that they took from us, we're going to pretty much take it back. We're going to take everything that they took from us, we're going to take it back. Really, the whole earth belongs to us. So all praise to Abinah Yahweh Bashum, Mashak Yahushai, and Shalom. Hope y'all brothers and sisters got edified through the spirit of the Most High. Shalom, family.